right, we can go on the record. Good morning, everyone. Today is March the 6th, 2024. It's 10:05 a.m. We're here at the Maryland Public Service Commission for case number 9713, which is in the matter of the application of Baltimore Gas and Electric Company for a Certificate of Public Convenience and Necessity for the Fitzell 3rd and 4th Circuits Reconfiguration Project. We can start with appearances.
Good morning, Judge Grace. Brent Balea on behalf of BGE.
Good morning.
Good morning, Your Honor. Brock Miller on behalf of the Office of People's Counsel.
Good morning.
Good morning, Ruthie Herman on behalf of the technical staff.
Good morning.
Good morning, Your Honor. Sandra McLemore on behalf of the Power Plant Research Program.
Thank you, Ms. McLemore. I'm going to sometimes forget to go in order because you're not sitting in the chair you're normally sitting in. So correct me, please.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay, so I received communication from the parties that the parties have reached a settlement in this matter. Is that correct?
That's correct, Your Honor.
Okay, so I'd like to start with, I've seen the settlement, and I've seen that the parties are going to be stipulating to the other parties' pre-filed testimony and exhibit. So I'd like to start with that and get those things in the record. And then I do have a couple of short questions. So we'll start with BGE.
Okay, thank you, Your Honor. Do I have to keep pulling my finger on this, or can you
You
hear
can
me?
just leave it on green, but you might want to bring it a little closer.
Okay. Can everybody hear me okay?
Perfect.
Okay. I am happy to, thank you, I'm happy to put our evidence, or at least offer it into evidence. As you said, the parties have stipulated to the admissibility of all of this. I did put together a exhibit list and distributed it to the parties in advance, so hopefully it'll help us move.
Do you have an
forward.
extra copy?
I do.
Your Honor, there are a couple of discrepancies with PPRPs, but I can, when it's my turn, I can let you know which those are.
That sounds great. Thank you.
And Your Honor, it probably doesn't matter, but I can't see you.
Oh. Yeah, that would help. You're probably going to see the other parties.
All right, I can't see anybody, but it's okay. I just wanted to let you know in case it was, relevant.
All right, we're going to go off the record for just a moment, but
Okay.
the video feed is going to still stay on YouTube, and your mics are still on.
Okay.
I'll be right back. Ms. McLemore, I think it'd be more useful for you to see the hearing room than, sorry, I'm turning my volume off. The hearing room than me, so I'm going to turn it to face the hearing room, and hopefully you'll be able to see what you need to see. Oh my goodness.
And Your Honor, it may not make a difference. I just wanted you to be aware.
Okay, we can go back on the record. We were starting with the evidence from BGE.
Yes, thank you, Your Honor. So I did put together an exhibit list, which I'll be working from. I tried to describe each exhibit that I'm going to be asking be marked to the best of my ability last night. But if there is these all refer to documents that have been filed in this case and are on the PSC's website in the docket for case 9713. So if there is any discrepancy between what I say here and what is actually in there, I'm referring to what's actually been filed. But I think it's accurate.
Okay.
So for BGE Exhibit Number 1, I'd like to have marked as BGE Exhibit Number 1 the July 19th, 2023 CPCN application itself, which consists of 26 pages and an 8-page certificate of service.
BGE Exhibit 1 is marked.
Okay, thank you. BGE 2, I'd like to have marked as BGE Number 2, the environmental review document that was pre-filed in this matter, including appendices A through J.
Okay, that was also filed on July 19th with the
Yes.
application. Yes, BGE 2 is marked.
Okay. And then also filed on July 19th and dated 19th, I'd like to have marked as BGE Exhibit Number 3, the July 19th direct testimony of John Strawbridge III, which consists of 11 pages and no exhibits.
BGE 3 is marked.
And for BGE Exhibit 4, please mark as BGE Exhibit Number 4 the July 19th direct testimony of Mr. David Oughton, which it consists of 8 pages and no exhibits.
4 is marked.
BGE would like to have marked as BGE Exhibit Number 5 the July 19th direct testimony of Eric Ye, which consists of 5 pages and no exhibits.
BGE Exhibit 5 is marked.
BGE would request that the February 16th, 2024 rebuttal testimony of Eric Ye, this is a public version, which consists of 12 pages and 4 exhibits. BGE would request that that be marked as BGE Exhibit Number 6.
Six is marked.
And the next exhibit we're proposing to have marked as Exhibit 6A, which is the confidential version of the materials we just had marked as Exhibit 6, namely the February 16th, 2024 rebuttal testimony of Eric Ye, the confidential version of that testimony, which includes 12 pages and 4 exhibits.
BGE Exhibit 6A is marked.
The next exhibit, Your Honor, that we'd have like to have marked is the July 19th, 2023 direct testimony of Tennille Rubin, which consists of 27 pages and no exhibits, and BGE would like that to be marked as Exhibit Number 7.
BGE Exhibit 7 is marked.
The next one, Your Honor, is a figure that was submitted with the environmental review document on July 19th, 2023, titled Figure 1, Fitzell Substation 3rd and 4th Circuit Project Site and Surrounding Area. That's a one-page figure. Would ask that that be marked as BGE Exhibit Number 8.
Give me one moment. Is this what you're talking about?
Yes.
It's marked at the bottom, Fitzell substation, 3rd and 4th. Okay, yeah.
Yep, that's the one.
BGE Exhibit 8 is marked.
Okay, thank you, Your Honor. The next one is a letter dated September 8th, 2023, regarding a certificate of compliance for a hearing, conference notification requirements, intervention deadline, notification of members of the General Assembly about the CPCN application, and notification to landowners about the CPCN application that was filed with this commission on the same date, September 8th. We'd like to have that marked as BGE Exhibit number 9.
BGE Exhibit 9, which was filed under mail log 304921, is marked.
Oh, thank you, Your Honor. The next item is a letter dated, that was pre-filed in this case, dated July 25th, 2024, with certificates of publication providing notification of the January 29th, 2024 evening public comment hearing and notification of postings on BGE's website, its app, and its social media platforms with respect to that evening public comment hearing. I'd like to have that marked as BGE Exhibit number 10.
BGE 10 is marked.
The next one, Your Honor, is a January 31st, 2024 letter and affidavit regarding an informational sign that was posted at the location of the evening public comment hearing. I'd like to have that letter marked as BGE Exhibit number 11.
BGE 11 is marked.
And the next one is the rebuttal testimony of Yosef Shirazi, dated February 16th, 2024, filed on that same date, consisting of 5 pages and 1 exhibit. I'd like to have that marked as BGE Exhibit 12, please.
BGE 12 is marked.
The next one is, okay, so the next one, and the last one really is, I'm going to propose be a joint exhibit, and the parties feel free to weigh in on that. But this is the actual settlement agreement that BGE filed on March 5th, 2024. It consists of 4 pages and 3 exhibits. The exhibits contain the recommended licensing conditions in this matter that the parties have agreed to. Although BGE filed it, this is a settlement agreement that was signed and agreed to by BGE, OPC, staff, and PPRP. So it may be appropriate to mark it as a joint exhibit.
Any objection to marking that as joint Exhibit 1?
No, Your Honor.
No objections from staff. Thank you.
Okay, so the settlement agreement will be marked as joint Exhibit 1, and it's marked.
All right, thank you, Your Honor. With that, I believe that completes BGE's exhibits at this time. And so I would move that all of those exhibits, as well as the joint exhibit, be moved into evidence.
Any objection to BGE Exhibits 1 through 12 and 6A and the joint Exhibit 1?
No objection to OPC, Your Honor.
No, Your Honor.
object-
Okay, BGE Exhibits 1 through 12, 6A, and joint Exhibit 1 are admitted.
Thank you, Your Honor.
PPRP.
Yes, Your Honor. Our first exhibit is the direct testimony of Jenny M. Rogers, consisting of 42 pages and 1 appendix, which was filed on January 18th, 2024. If I could have that marked as PPRP 1.
PPRP 1 is marked.
Next is the secretarial letter, which consists of 1 page, and it also was filed on January 18th, 2024. If I could have that marked as PPRP Exhibit 2.
PPRP 2 is marked.
Then the next exhibit is the initial recommended conditions, consisting of 10 pages, also filed on January 18th, 2024. If I could have that marked as PPRP 3, Exhibit 3.
PPRP 3 is marked.
The next document is the Public Project Assessment Report, also filed on January the 18th, 2024. If I could have that marked as the public version, if I could have that marked as PPRP Exhibit 4.
PPRP Exhibit 4 is marked.
The next document is the Confidential Project Assessment Report, also filed on January 18th, 2024. If I could have that marked as PPRP Exhibit 4A.
4A is marked.
The next document is the Public Appendix A to the PAR, which consists of 111 pages, also filed on January 18th, 2024. If I could have that marked as PPRP Exhibit 5.
Okay, so in the description, so you want the appendices marked separately, correct?
We filed them separately because of the page number, but
Yeah,
I will
sure.
do what you would like. So that was the discrepancy.
And we do appreciate it when you file them separately because our technology is having trouble downloading, 2,500 page documents. So we appreciate that. So the Public Appendix A is marked as PPR Exhibit 5.
Thank you, Your Honor. And the Confidential Appendix A to the PAR, if I could have that marked as PPRP Exhibit 5A.
PPRP Confidential Appendix A is marked as 5A.
Thank you, Your Honor. And then the Appendix B to the PAR, which consists of 5 pages, if I could have that marked as PPRP 6.
Appendix B is marked as PPRP Exhibit 6.
Thank you, Your Honor. The next document is the public testimony of Ricardo Austria, consisting of 13 pages, also filed January 18th, 2024. If I could have that marked as Exhibit number 7, PPRP Exhibit 7.
PPRP 7 is marked.
And the final document is the confidential testimony of Ricardo Austria, also 13 pages and filed on January 18, 2024. If I could have that marked as PPRP Exhibit number 7A.
PPRP Exhibit 7A is marked.
And at this time, Your Honor, I would like to respectfully request that these documents be entered into the record.
Any objection to PPRP Exhibits 1 through 7, 5A, 4A, 5A, and 7A?
No objection, Your Honor.
No objections from staff.
No objections.
Okay, so PPRP Exhibits 1 through 7, 4A, 5A, and 7A are admitted.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Office of People's Counsel?
Yes, Your Honor. OPC has 2 exhibits to mark. The first is the direct testimony of Brian Collins, consisting of 86 pages in total, 15 pages of testimony with 2 exhibits, filed on January 18th, 2024 as mail log number 307181. I request that be marked as OPC Exhibit 1.
OPC Exhibit 1 is marked.
And the second item is the confidential direct testimony of Brian Collins, consisting of 90 pages in total, 15 pages of testimony with 3 exhibits, filed on January 18th, 2024 as mail log number 307181. I would ask that be marked as OPC Exhibit 1A.
OPC Exhibit 1A is marked.
Thank you, Your Honor. Now I would ask that the 2 exhibits be moved into the record.
No objection.
No objections from staff.
Hearing no objection from PPRP, OPC Exhibits 1 and 1A are admitted.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Staff?
Yes, Your Honor. Staff requests that the direct testimony of staff witness Roger Austin, filed into the docket on January 18th, 2024, consisting of 24 pages of testimony and 3 exhibits, filed under mail log 307182, be marked as Staff Exhibit 1.
Staff Exhibit 1 is marked.
Your Honor, at this time, staff requests that you admit Staff Exhibit 1 into the record.
Any objection?
No objection, Your Honor.
No objection, Your Honor.
Staff Exhibit 1 is admitted. Okay, I have a couple of questions about the settlement, the PPRP's updated, let's see, let me use the correct name. Sorry about that. So the revised recommended license conditions dated March 4th, 2024, conditions 13 and 15. Ms. McLemore, would you like to call a witness for me to direct those questions to?
Yes, Your Honor, if I could call Jenny Rogers to the stand, and she is available remotely.
Okay, I think we still have to do an attestation that you're not in the same room with Ms. Rogers, Ms. McLemore.
Okay, no, I am not in the same room as Ms. Rogers.
Okay,
Do you need it from me?
sure.
Sure. Why not? We're not in the same room
Okay.
as Miss McLemore.
Ms. Rogers, do you
Yes,
swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give will be the truth?
I do.
Okay, can you state your first and last name for the court reporter, please?
Yes, it's Ginny, Ginny, Rogers, Rogers, and Ginny is my full name.
Okay, thank you. Ms. McLemore, can I go ahead and ask my questions and then I'll give you an opportunity afterwards?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. So the PAR at page 56,
I do have that. Hold on 1 minute.
and also, or you could take a look at your testimony at page 22, your direct testimony. At
Okay,
page
I have it.
Okay, so it sounded like bat roost trees, on the site visits, were bat roost trees observed?
We did not see bat roost trees. If you're familiar with the area, it's very highly developed, and there aren't a lot of tall trees in the area. This condition is more of a in case they are encountered.
Okay. So initially, the recommendation was to avoid May 1st to August 31st entirely, but the revised condition allows for BGE to obtain a waiver to conduct construction activities during that time. So how would that work?
They would have to work with DNR's Wildlife and Heritage Service and submit an application, or at least coordinate with them to get permission to do any work in that area if there are bat roost trees. So it would be a matter of if they encountered a bat roost tree, they would have to go and report to WHS.
Okay, but what WHS? What will that? Will they conduct another site visit, or what will they do further in order?
I'm not entirely familiar with the process, but at that point it would be between BGE and WHS. I'm assuming they would go out there and confirm whether or not it was a bat roost tree and whether or not time of year restrictions would need to be applied.
Okay, and then would you expect BGE to report to PPRP and staff if that waiver has been obtained prior to beginning construction?
Yes.
Okay, and similar questions for under revised condition 15, which is on page 6 of the revised conditions, and I think it refers to PAR 56, page 56.
So similar with that, they can apply to the environmental review program at DNR for a waiver. That I'm a little more familiar with the process. They would have to basically justify that they had contingency plans for a frack out since they are going under the water, and fill out a waiver application and have that reviewed by someone in the environmental review program. And I do know that it does take a little bit of time, so it would take a couple of months probably.
Okay, and obviously, PPRP is satisfied with these conditions as a part of the settlement agreement and stipulation, is that correct?
Yes, we are.
And with regards to condition 15, would that, and what would that process involve?
Again, they would have to go to the environmental review program and submit an application for a waiver and have that reviewed. I don't know for sure exactly what they do. They probably do go out there. They would ask for contingency plans for the frack out situation and any other specific concerns they may have to the situation. Since they're going pretty deep under this creek, I don't think that it would be a lot more information they would have to give.
All right, Ms. McMorro, I don't have any further questions. Do you have any follow-up?
No, Your Honor, but if you do need any more specificity, we can take it as a bench request if you would like.
I have on the record that PPRP is satisfied with the revised condition. I mean, it's in the settlement agreement, so I knew that, but I think we're good. Does any other party have any questions for Ms. Rogers?
None from OPC, Your Honor.
None from staff, Your Honor. Thank you.
No questions from BGE, Your Honor.
Okay, Ms. Rogers, thank you for your testimony.
You're welcome. Thank you.
I have a question for counsel. On page 2, at the top of page 2 of the settlement agreement, the first paragraph says, whereas BGE and PPRP agree that the inclusion of non-overhead CPCN license conditions in this case is not to be considered precedential for future transmission line CPCN cases. And then on page 4, paragraph 12, none of the settling parties shall be prohibited from or prejudiced in arguing a different policy or position before the commission in any other proceeding, as such agreements pertain only to this matter and to no other matter. Is there a reason why only BGE and PPRP are listed in that first paragraph on page 2 and not the other parties?
I can take a crack at that. I think I think they both kind of mean the same thing, but I think the reason why we just included BGE and PPRP on the first in the whereas clause was because we were negotiating with them first over that particular issue, and since they are essentially the sponsors of those particular types of conditions from the joint reviewing agencies, we made it specific to them, but I don't think there was an intent to exclude others really, but it really was kind of because we were talking with PPRP particularly about this issue of underground conditions that deal with underground portions of the project.
Okay, and same question for page 2, further down, I think it's a 1, 2, 3, 4, fifth, now therefore paragraph, but under that sub 1, BG and PPRP agree and stipulate to the revised language for recommended conditions as shown in the red line version of the recommended conditions in Exhibit A.
Yeah, again, I think we kind of started with PPRP when we were going our negotiations on those particular conditions, and so that's why the language is the way it is. I haven't heard any objections or concerns from the other parties. They're all here so they can make their views known themselves, of course, but we ultimately all signed the settlement agreement and agreed to all of the terms and conditions in the settlement agreement, so that's the way I interpret that.
I'll ask the other parties. Did you see where I was referring on page 2, the first paragraph and the sub 1 under the 1, 2, 3, 5th paragraph.
Yes, Your Honor, I see it.
Do OPC and staff also agree to those 2 paragraphs?
OPC does, Your Honor.
Your Honor, I don't see where you are, but.
Okay, so page
yeah.
2 of the settlement
you.
agreement. Are you there?
Yes, Your Honor.
So the first paragraph says, whereas BGE and PPRP agree, I'm asking if staff also agrees.
This is Michael Dean on behalf of staff. Staff does agree with that. It's normally that the conditions are developed by the state agencies under the guidance of PPRP, and under the statute, they submit. They are the final judges of what's appropriate for the conditions, and that's 7-208 provides the guidance on PPRP's proposed conditions, and they're actually allowed to modify them a few days after the hearings are over. Also,
Yeah, okay, thank you. And what about same page, paragraph 5, sub 1? Is staff also in agreement with that paragraph?
I'm sorry, Your Honor, could you, are you on page 2?
Page 2,
Uh-huh.
paragraph 1, 2, just after now therefore, which is the 5th paragraph, sub 1, says BG and PPRP agree and stipulate to the revised language for recommended conditions.
Oh, okay, yep.
the staff does agree with that.
Okay, while I'm on staff, attachment C, or exhibit C to, oh no, I'm sorry, exhibit B, there's 2 staff conditions there, and staff's witness testimony had 3 conditions. The 3rd condition was compliance with applicable laws and regulations, which is, I think, contained elsewhere in the settlement agreement. Staff is satisfied with the 2 conditions that are contained in Exhibit B to the settlement,
Yes, Your Honor.
correct? Okay. OPC, I think when, I'm not sure if I'm looking at the draft of the settlement that was circulated or the draft that was filed, but I think OPC had a last-minute friendly amendment. What was that?
I believe that was staff, Your Honor.
Oh.
And it was in one of the whereas clauses where we just needed to clarify. There's a whereas clause, or maybe it wasn't a whereas clause, but there's a provision in here that where the parties agree to basically defend the settlement in court as well as before the commission, and staff, as I understand it, is not authorized to do that on behalf of the commission in court. So as I understand it, the change we made, and that is in the settlement that was filed yesterday, March 5th, includes a language that staff requested in order to clarify that they would not be they can't defend the settlement in court, basically, because that's not an appropriate role for them, as I understand it. But
Okay,
I'll
thank
let
you.
Mr. Dean correct me if I've gone astray.
Oh, that's a correct summary of the reason for the change.
Okay. Just give me a moment, please. I'm just reading through the rest of my notes.
That's in paragraph 9 of the numbered paragraphs at the end line there.
Thank you, Mr. Dean. All right. So the procedural schedule as it currently stands requires briefs and reply briefs. Parties don't want to do any briefing, right, since this is a settlement?
That would be correct, Your Honor.
Yes, Your Honor, OPC does not.
Okay. Should the proposed order accept the settlement agreement in its entirety? Do the parties object to a shortened appeal period since this is a settlement?
OPC has no objection, Your Honor.
Staff would have no objection.
No objection, Your Honor.
PPRP does not object.
Okay. All right, I think, does any party have any other matter that we need to take up this morning?
Nothing from OPC.
No, Your Honor.
I can't think of anything at the moment. Just want to thank the parties for working with us on getting to settlement on this. Really appreciate it.
Absolutely, I appreciate it. Okay, well, thank you everyone for all your hard work on this case, and I will try to get out the proposed order sooner rather than later, and we can go off the record.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.